الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: الإيمان يماني والحكمة يماني.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay?
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. I need some water.
طيب إن شاء الله.
Alhamdulillah. How you doing, Yemeni?
Alhamdulillah, you?
I'm doing very fine. A lot has happened since we last met each other. Oh my dad. I had read another book called Humility of Prayer by Ibn Qayyim. So I had some questions that I actually, when that session was over, I remembered some questions I wanted to ask you, but then I saw your next live was going to be a lot later on. So
yeah, but Habibi, what do you call it? What I don't want is a repeat of last time, because last time it was more like an interview.
No. This is I'll not be asking questions about marriage or health or any other thing.
It has to be pertaining to the dawah, and keep it brief, inshallah.
Yes.
Okay.
So how, because this is something difficult. How to say this? How do you do dawah? You know what? Let me just give you the background. My class had a big, hot debate with my history teacher, and the history teacher was like against Islam, saying all stuff, and the students were ignorant, but they still stood up for their religion and said this is right, this is wrong, and the teacher was calling them fascists. You guys are following political Islam.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So eventually, because according to the teacher, he said that, look, Islam is a religion about your relation with God. You cannot look at naked pictures or so is a later interpretation of the Quran. And he was into it. So I was there sitting just calmly. I didn't really even talk. I didn't say much because I knew the consequences. I'm not interested to debate the teacher in school. So how does someone, because look, I'm not afraid to give dawah to anyone, but how do you give dawah when you have a teacher screaming at your religion in school, and you have a bunch of ignorant students next to you standing up for their religion? What should you do in that situation?
I understand. At the end of the day, when you're in school or college or university, you're there to learn. And the mark of a good teacher is that he allows himself to be corrected. If you as a student knows better than the teacher in something, you correct him. There's no.
No. He's not like that. Last year he told me I'm better than you.
Let me finish.
No problem.
If he hasn't got a clue what he's talking about, go find another teacher. Khalas. It's that simple. At the end of the day, when it comes to theology, you want to be learning from the mashayikh, not from a university non-Muslim teacher. That's the first thing, right? Giving dawah, obviously it's not the correct place to do it, okay? But you do correct him. Your correction, if he wants to take it, he takes it. If he doesn't want to take it, khalas. He's not a good teacher. A good teacher learns as well. And that way you're giving dawah to your classmates as well, because now you're correcting something, you're teaching them something yourself. That is dawah. As Rasulullah said, convey about me even if it's one ayah, right? So that's it. That's your job done. You leave and you go seek knowledge from those who are knowledgeable. This is the danger that most Muslim students in the West fall into. with regards to their classes, especially when it comes to philosophy and religious theology. Okay, they fall into this stuff because they sit there and they listen to their teachers, and shubha after shubha comes in, and then they, you know, they start to have doubts about their own religion instead of being firm on their religion. But this is first and foremost, if you want to give da'wah, you correct the teacher. Khalas, that's it. You've done your bit. After that, you leave. You know, if they don't know what they're talking about, you go to the mosque and you ask for if there's a sheikh that can teach you, and you study at the foot of an imam or a sheikh or an alim, and you know, worst case scenario with a student of knowledge, right? Talib ilm. Okay, that's it. That's what it is. Da'wah at the end of the day, as I've always said, establish your aqidah. Do that, you're going to be fine.
But the teacher, one side is a bit arrogant, and he last year I was in a kind of discussion with him, and he said, I know more about Islam than you do.
I've covered it. I've already covered it in my answer, Habibi. You know, what do you call it? Pay attention. If the teacher doesn't know what he's on about, and if he doesn't want to be taught,
yeah,
leave. You leave.
Your religion. But look, I'm in high school. It's not like you can just leave the class. It's like till the bell goes.
Sit there until the bell goes and just don't pay attention. Khalas, it's that simple, you know.
Now the worst is actually gonna happen, because the teacher was so pissed that he said to because there's only one Christian in my class and all of the people are Muslim, and I'm in a school where I'm the only boy and all my class are women. So no, but look, so the teacher told us that he's going to prepare 4 heated questions later, which he's going to ask us to confuse us.
Fail it. You know, this is your deen is more important than your school. Okay, if you have a teacher that is going to try and creep in shubha, and try to get you to fail your test because of it, fail. Allah will reward you. He will give you something better than that stupid test. Okay, don't worry about it. Worry about your deen, and that's it. That's all it is. This is, and I understand your position. You have a family, and your position is the same as many young men out there. You have a family that wants you to succeed in school, but they want you to stay Muslim and everything. There is, you know, and if you come across this situation, which many Muslims do across the West, fail your studies, because you know, preserving your religion will ensure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, will give you better than what you failed. Okay, what, you come out with no grades, you come out with, you know, a flop from school, who cares? If you know,
I mean, it's better to fail your school year for standing up for Islam.
100%. 100%.
It's really a difficult thing to comprehend, because you know, you study a year in school to get good grades, and then
Allah will reward you. Allah will reward you.
What about skipping classes to go to Friday prayer?
Yeah, Allah calls you, answer. Okay. Allah calls you, answer.
So there's also another problem. In my school, wearing hijab is forbidden for women, even if you're at the playground. So some women of my class, they had thoughts about protesting against the school. Maybe a few weeks later. You have any advice? Should I stop them?
Protesting is not from Islam. Protesting is not from Islam.
It's bid'ah.
The sisters, if they are not wearing the hijab, it's because they don't have the confidence in the brothers around them to protect them. Because there is a fear aspect. The sisters feel weird. They feel afraid. And if they feel afraid to the point where they actually abide by these rules, it's because they're afraid that their Muslim brothers won't stand up to them. The sisters need the confidence of their Muslim brothers to be able to protect them. When someone wants to take their hijab off, they tell them no. Sister, put your hijab back on and walk through those gates. That strength from Muslim men doesn't exist. Okay? Khalas, all right? There's the concept of manhood among the Muslims. You know, I feel sorry for the sisters. You know, when they want to get married, they're going to try and look for a man, but they don't find any. You know? So with regards to the sisters, you want to protest, put the hijab on. Put the hijab on, try and walk through school. They don't let you through the gates, no problem. Go home. As we say in Arabic, mu'azzizin mukarramin, right? You're in your house, right? You have your father to look after you. He's responsible for your for everything. Oh, you know, you have your brothers, you know, or you have a husband. Learn at home. We're in the age of information, online courses. Learn from home. Why do you need to be in school? Get homeschooled. They don't want you to be homeschooled. Make hijrah. There's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us everything that we need. You can't do that. Stay at home. Chill. Let the sisters chill. Right? But you as men, the hell are you doing in school? Why are you letting your sisters be afraid like that? So afraid that they actually take their hijab off. I'm not talking to you now. As one of those brothers in school. Yeah?
Yeah, I try to defend the sister. I tell them, you know, do what is right.
No. Yeah, but they want to see you talking to the teachers. Go to the teachers. Tell them what you're doing.
And this is also something factual, because in the debate, all the girls of my class know that I'm the guy with a little bit more knowledge and I can speak to them, but I just didn't have the interest.
If you look, at the end of the day, you want to protect the sisters. You gotta do it, right? You have to have wisdom in doing it. You have to be able to conduct yourself in the way you do it, right?
Yes.
Build on that and defend your sisters. But inshallah, look, what do you call it? I've got someone else in the back chat. Inshallah, I'll leave it there with you. Okay, I'll put you in the back chat, and then we'll bring.
Wait. And I just had one. It's not a long. It's just like a 4-second question. You read the book on the Muslim Creed by Sheikh Salih Al-Fawzan, right? The one you promoted? Yeah.
Yes.
How long did it took you to read the book? Because I'm trying to schedule it. How long it will probably take me? How long did it took you to?
It took us 22 nights.
Yes.
And
how long every day?
15 pages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Reading a book is easy when you break it down like that. Okay.
Thank you very much. It was very helpful. I might share this video with the sisters of my class, inshallah.
So share it with the teachers and tell them this is our stance as Muslim men. As Muslim men, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes first. What you say doesn't matter.
But
you want to kick us out of the school? Kick us out of the school. Your parents tell them the same thing. You know, oh mom, oh dad. Do you not like the fact that I'm standing up for our rights as Muslims?
But my parents are afraid. They don't want me. They say, no, you have to stay in school. Don't go to the friar prayer. Stay else you will get suspended.
Be good to your parents. Be good to your parents and get them to understand. At the end of the day, you stick with Allah, okay? And if your parents are, have made a misjudgment, say to them in good manners, Mom, Dad, you have made a misjudgment. You don't even have to say that. You can say, Allah said to me to preserve my religion. Rasulullah said to me to hold on to my religion. These, give them Islamic reminders. You've got these books that you showed me last time. Use them. Get these quotes and say to you, Mom, Dad, look, Allah said this. Rasulullah said this. Yeah, let me, what I will give up now, Allah will compensate it.
Compensate
with that which is better. What I leave for Allah's sake is going to give me that which is better. Do you not want what's better for me from Allah? Be nice to them. But at the same time, you're letting them know that you are doing this for the sake of Allah. Okay.
But even if I'm being nice to them, they're just not letting me,
I said to you, you keep, look, when it comes to Allah and His Messenger, You do your best to get your parents on board. Okay, if they don't come on board and it's detrimental to your deen, you prioritize your deen, but you don't hurt your parents in the process. This is where you need to have wisdom. You're a young man, learn wisdom now. Okay, Rasulullah left us with the Quran and the hikmah, the wisdom, the sunnah. Learn it, apply it in your life, and inshallah you'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah, but this is the problem. What if even after 1,000 times I advise them and they're not allowing me? Should I listen to them or disobey?
Habibi, first do what you need to do. Okay, don't think about the worst thing. Do what you need to do, because I'm not going to tell you to you know to be bad to your parents, am I? Yeah.
What if they're not allowing me to, you know, go to the mosque during school, during Jummah prayer?
Look, you go to the mosque because you obey Allah, right?
Mhm.
Go to the mosque,
Mhm.
right? But you're good to your parents. You stay good to your parents, okay? Even at the time of Rasulullah, when the people reverted to Islam, what did he command them to do? Be good to your parents. They were not disbelievers. Be good to them, but fulfill your religious obligations. This is the advice. I'm not khalas, okay? Take it step by step. Take it step by step, and tell your teachers from me, to hell with your education. Allah comes first. Okay, Allah will educate me.
Wow, the way you said it is just fantastic, bro.
That's why I have that series, The Unapologetic Muslim, you know. So
no problem. Okay, it was very great. May Allah reward you for your work. Thank you very much, and I hope I'll see you next time.
Inshallah. Yallah. Assalamu alaikum. Bye, Abu Bakr. If you want, do you want to keep your camera on, or do you want to turn it off? Yeah. Okay. Bye. Yallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great. It's great to finally speak to you. I've been watching you with Adnan and Imtiaz and Imran, you know, speaking mostly with the Ahmadis, but I've seen you here and there on the open debates and just kind of the open podcast. So, barakallahu feek, may Allah bless you and reward you for the work you've been doing. Yeah, but you know what the young brother just recently spoke about the school thing. I've gone through a lot of similar situations back in my high school days, like over 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
The advice that I would give to him and any other young Muslim in the West studying in high school, particularly, or like middle school, around, because before that you don't really have any authority or autonomy over yourself. I can't expect like an elementary school student to kind of build the courage or confidence to kind of stand up to, like, honestly, most of, you know, their parents or the school or anything. But I feel like there's a strong inverse relationship between like the teacher's confidence and your confidence in your own deen. Like if you're exuding, you know, confidence in asserting what you know about your deen, and they'll back up. And if you almost feel offended, you have to demonstrate like how offended you are. You can't let them just get away with saying certain things. You have to kind of like visibly be offended, you know, and they get scared from that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's because they're snowflakes. But
yeah, that's true.
I mean, to be honest, you know, I think Islam from the get-go, we've always shown strength. Mm-hmm. Never that we were offended. The Muslims, that's not the way of the Muslim. Oh, I'm offended. Oh, I'm offended. This is not our way. Allah and His Messenger. That's it. That's where the book stops. Okay. So and that is what's gonna imbue that confidence in our younger brothers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, especially our younger brothers.
Yeah. See, once I had a situation in like 10th
because
grade,
if they try to come across as offended, they'll turn out to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if we give the message to the young brothers, you got to appear offended, you're gonna be like the Jews. What are the Jews like now?
Yeah,
in their campuses. I'm offended. Oh, you're an anti-Zionist. You're an anti-Semite. You know. Yeah,
I guess when you put it that way, that's it does sound pretty. I meant more like you should actually be offended since this is your religion. It's disrespect to your religion and it shouldn't be tolerated. So it's something that you should seem, at least even basically, don't hide the fact that you're disappointed in them disrespecting your religion.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But I see what you mean. I agree with that as well. Yeah. But so I've had situations where And I kind of agree with you too, whereas Muslim girls kind of don't they don't feel the confidence from the Muslim brothers around them. But sometimes I don't know, I feel like it's a little harder for the females in the West to kind of have to you know, meet societal expectations and norms and stuff. The way the girls dress and everything. I've had Muslim girls refute what I was saying while arguing with the teacher. When it, like, our teacher would say something like, "Oh, they have a, you know, a bunch of things, a carpet, the musalla, the one that the musalla that you pray on. That's like you can't pray without it." And I was like, "That's not true. You're allowed to pray anywhere." And then when they came to the hijab, they're like, "You're not, you know, it's kind of optional. You can wear it or not." And I was like, "No, you have. It's like fard. It's." And the girl,
yeah, but I agree.
Yeah.
I'm talking about with regards to the other with Luqman. May Allah increase him.
I mean.
We were talking with regards to the sisters that want to be wearing the hijab. Of course, the sisters that don't want to wear hijab or think it's optional, you know, you need to understand. You need to learn your religion as well. The religion isn't only obligatory to be learned by the men.
True.
The women have an obligation to learn their religion. Who's going to teach the kids?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
You know, like we always mention, this is a saying that the Arabs have, that women are half of mankind. They give birth. They are half of mankind. Sorry, they're the entirety of mankind. They are half of mankind. They give birth to, raise, and, you know, and educate the other half.
Yeah, that's big. That's really big, actually.
You know, so the importance of our sisters to have this taqwa in Allah and to have knowledge. And this is why I said, you know, like, if they've been forced to remove their hijab, learn at home, because learning doesn't stop being obligatory upon them. If they don't go to school, they have to learn even at home.
Yeah.
Let's not make it all about the brothers. I make more emphasis on the brothers because they are the leaders of society.
Yeah.
But the women, they create those leaders. The women create those leaders. The reason we don't have with men like Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu and Abu Bakr and Uthman radiallahu anhum is because we don't have women like their mothers.
Yes.
Okay? That bore them, that raised them to be strong. Okay? And educated. And likewise with the tabi'in and tabi'in, right? The mothers of these great scholars. So, you know, there's an emphasis on both the brothers and sisters in schools, but the strength has to be primarily from our brothers. The sisters need to see them defending them. Oh, true. You know, because, is a guy gonna rip my scarf off? Nah, because there is my Muslim brother over there. This man will never dare approach me, because the next thing he knows, he's gonna be in hospital. Yeah,
subhanAllah, that kind of stuff is actually happening now. That never used to happen, like what, in 2012, 13 when I was in high school. But I guess people are actually getting their scarves removed, or they're being told they can't wear scarves in the United States. SubhanAllah.
Muslims have become scared. Oh, I'm gonna get prosecuted. I'm gonna get cancelled. You know, oh, they're gonna take my grades away. I'm gonna flunk my test.
Yeah.
So what? So what? Who's the risk with? Not them.
Yeah.
Who's the ilm with? Not them. It's with them.
Allah has more right to be feared. Yeah.
Yeah. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Right? That's literally the fifth ayah that was revealed to the Muslims.
Yeah.
علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Leave them. Allah will teach you what you do not know. But and where are the parents? Where are the parents?
That's a big one. You know, I've alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me with a son on the way. He's not born yet, but I'm so worried about like bringing him up over here in the United States, just because of like all of the troubles that I kind of went through and what I see, you know, family members, close friends, other Muslims in our community going through. It's like parents, they should be prioritizing. For example, just in the West, it's typical for a Muslim family, practicing Muslim family. You know, my parents both read like a juz of Quran every morning, mashallah. May Allah preserve them. And I've grown up seeing them so conservative with the deen, but when it comes to school, it's almost like they just kind of a little brainwashed, and they just don't really. I've never been like grabbed and taken to Jummah every Friday, even though my school. And it took me a while to realize that. And then once I was in high school, I was like, yo, we don't pray Jummah. like regular. It's only like in the summer vacations, in the spring breaks, and like when we're like in breaks that we're kind of, aren't we? Isn't this like fard? So, you know, subhanallah, it's kind of, it's that was just something I wanted to mention. Parents will prioritize school over Juma. And that's like an essential element of our deen. It's the refresh. It's the refresh every week. Yeah. You're supposed to be like reminded every week. You need to group up. So,
yeah, but this is a problem that we need to teach our parents. You know, we always say that the student one day becomes the master, right? Your teacher, your parents teach you, but one day you can teach them something. Yeah. You know, a payback for all that they taught you. You give them something in return. You know, a nugget of knowledge that you have, sincere advice, and you know, at the end of the day, it's very hard for us as, you know, sons and daughters, because we don't necessarily,
respectful.
We don't necessarily know how to do it. Okay, but this is again, we have an obligation, especially when we hit puberty. It's an obligation.
Yeah,
to know deen. You know, Rasulullah said, teach them at 7.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah, teach them at 7.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we do? The US, the UK, they said our kids are idiots until they're 18. So we teach them at 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, in regards to like what Brother Luqman was saying, whether he needs to disobey his parents or not, I don't think it's necessary to even really choose. But once you show to any, I believe any, because even this, I had this experience with my parents too. If you show to them that you're serious about it, then they will feel shame even resisting you. They won't feel like they can even resist that. They'll be like, okay, he's serious. He's sitting me down. He's looking me in the eyes, talking to me about his deen. They fear Allah. If you're a Muslim, and our brother, you know, he's obviously God conscious. He couldn't have come from, you know, parents that were completely just, you know, lost. So
no.
So may Allah make it easy for him and for all the Muslim brothers and sisters. But just be firm on your conviction about it. Also, group up with other Muslims in the school. We used to have like a little Jum'ah thing where we asked the library if we could use the side study room with the computers to pray Jum'ah prayer. There was only like 6 of us, and then it ended up being like 12 of us, and they eventually ended up canceling it because they were like, oh, you guys are spreading water all over the place when you wash up and you take showers in the bathrooms and stuff, and you know, making wudu.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is down to Muslim etiquette. At the end of the day, you've been given a thing, but you threw your
we kind of messed it up. Yeah, we messed it up a little bit.
But look, I understand. I understand at that age, your kids and everything. But again, this comes from parents. Before they get into that stage of praying, often look after people's properties. They've allowed you to use their facilities. You return it to them in that state. Really?
Yeah.
You might say to yourself, "Oh, it's only water." Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Would you like it if they gave you a table and there was water on it? You wouldn't like it.
No.
Yeah,
at the time, I thought it was just Islamophobic, and I was like, you know, upset. But after reflecting on it, I kind of realized we could have definitely handled that better, and we were luckier than most to even be given a room and like 15 minutes into class to go speak for like 2 minutes, give a short khutbah, do the prayer, and leave. You know.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that would be my advice. Group up with other Muslims, and when you come as a group of 5+ individuals that are all serious about it, and request like 10 to 15 minutes into your, you know, 4th or 5th period class, whichever it is that, you know, Jum'ah lands on, they're usually going to like allow you to do that if you come as a group and see what you can do. Otherwise, you know, as Brother Yemeni said, just do what Allah says over anyone else, but just be respectful to your parents, be respectful to everybody about it. It's not an easy thing being a Muslim in the West, honestly. A properly practicing Muslim in Western educational system it can be very difficult at times.
It has its challenges, and it's one of the challenges. Allah mentioned that we'll be tested throughout our life. Our youth is one thing that we are tested with.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we do it right, Islam will propagate further than it already has.
Inshallah.
Without anything other than a show of strength and conviction, not against the non-Muslims, but in ourselves. That we are Muslims. We know that it's La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for me, I always think, even though what do you call it, the film Al-Risala, the message, is not entirely accurate and everything, But I always remember when the Muslims marched into Mecca, all you heard was La ilaha illallah.
Yeah. Did you watch it in English or in Arabic? The
Arabic, of course.
Oh,
in
okay,
Arabic,
nice.
of course.
Yeah.
And then you hear that, and you see the face of the mushrikeen. They're like, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
They were like,
it was,
everyone running into their doors and stuff.
It was fear and reverence.
Reverence. That's the
like,
word.
look
reverence.
There was fear because they were like, where is this power coming from? But there was reverence because it's unprecedented. But they're peacefully walking towards the Kaaba. But that shows strength. That regardless of what we've been through for those 23 years, we came back saying, La ilaha illallah.
Subhanallah. Yeah, and the unity of the Muslims too.
It's my response.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, of course. But it's a responsibility. MashaAllah, you're going to be a father, inshallah. May Allah protect your... do you know what it is? Son, daughter? Yeah.
It's a son. I'm naming him Adam, inshallah.
It's a son. May Allah, protect your son from all the fitan of this dunya. May Allah give him tests that he passes with flying colors. May Allah make him the coolness of your eyes and the eyes of your wife. May Allah make him a hafiz so that you have the crowns on your. May Allah make him a leader of the Muslims in whatever capacity. And may Allah grant him happiness and contentment in this life and in the next.
Ameen. Ameen. Barakallahu feek. Thank you so much for the kind words. I have one more question, if I may. Sorry, I'm taking up a lot of your time. No, but so this is just a hobby of mine ever since I was young. I've always drawn things. I'm like the artist in the family, right? Growing up, I've kind of slowed down, and lately I've kind of started looking into the Islamic opinion on drawing and making pictures. So particularly making pictures. The way I understand it, the way I used to understand it and kind of make excuse for myself was, oh no, that's like idols. And then it was like, oh, I'm not making like, I'm not worshiping it. I'm just drawing, anime or portraits and stuff like that. Now I kind of just do patterns and nature, like vegetation and things like that. I kind of try to stick to that rather than making faces. And I know some people's opinions are, they just don't do the eyes. I just wanted to hear what your opinion on that may be. Like, what are the boundaries? What boundaries do you think are safest to stay within?
I first and foremost, I always say this. I'm not qualified to give my own opinion. I'm not qualified to give my own ijtihad on the matter. Okay. The scholars mention regarding the soul being from the eyes, hence why the people don't draw the eyes. You don't want to do that.
Okay, I didn't know that's why. Okay.
Me personally, I've always said to the layman, right? If you're a layman, okay, which you and I both are, I'm no one. Okay? If you are unsure, avoid it altogether. Just draw vegetation. That way you're guaranteed to be safe, right? Right. So, if you want to get an answer, speak to an alim,
Get a proper fatwa.
Get a proper fatwa. Okay. And if you can't and you're unsure, avoid it altogether. You remain safe. Okay. So that would be my nasiha, not a fatwa.
No, I appreciate it. Barakallahu feek. Thank you so much. Again, thank you. May Allah reward you with the highest levels of Jannah for what you're doing for the Muslim community online and in the UK, in the West, all around the world. MashaAllah, it's really, really effective. And may Allah reward you and strengthen you in your endeavors. Thank you. Barakallahu feek. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Jazakallah.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.